Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Sharon Rankin. If I have not had a chance to meet you, I'm delighted to welcome you to our Mission Possible weekly team call. Personally, I'm excited about every time we come together. I'm excited about my life, but I'm excited that you all are here. And your choice to be here says so much. I am a 35-year veteran with the Juice Plus Company. I started out as a broke stay-at-home mom. Now I'm gratefully and humbly say I'm a rich gadabout grandmother, and I like that gadabout part. We like going and doing. So we've been truly blessed with this mission and this opportunity. So each week as we come together as a team, our purpose is to keep our focus and our minds on our life-changing mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. That is the greater mission of the Juice Plus community and team. Our team, the Mission Possible team, mission is that we are a growing team of inspired individuals, agents, or ambassadors for change, dedicated to creating a healthier life, more prosperous life for as many people as possible now and in future generations. And each week when we come together, please know that these calls are created, energy, time, investment of planning goes in to create an environment for growth, for learning, for connection, for community, all the things that we need to help us go out there and be our best self in the Juice Plus world, to shine the light for health and hope. And so tonight we're going to turn our attention to a subject that really is a timely subject, and it's one that we address every single year. And that is about working our business and our mission through the holidays. We're going into a pretty busy time, a lot of activities, distractions even. And it could be so easy to say, well, I'll just wait till the first of the year. But my experience, and most people who are veterans of this business have found that this is the best time, one of the best times to be embracing our mission and shining the light for health. A lot of times for conversations. So tonight, Sandy Burden, Qualifying National Marketing Director from Denver, is going to help lead that conversation. And I'm sure you've got some help, Sandy. So welcome, Sandy.
Yes, thank you very much. Nicole Lucky will be helping me out tonight. And I am a Qualifying National Marketing Director, and I have been a part of this company for 24 years and actively in the business for over 20 years of that. I was a customer first. And I can't imagine doing anything else the rest of my life. Seriously, it is the most rewarding and wonderful place to be, and the best company to be with for sure. And obviously the best products. This information that we're going to share tonight came specifically from Eric Worre, who a lot of you know from GoPro. And if you haven't read GoPro, the book, I highly recommend that on the top of your reading list, because it is a critical educational tool to understanding the network marketing business and how to succeed in it. And it's a very short, simple book with really critical information in it. So he continues to put out all kinds of wonderful educational materials, and this isn't any different. It's 10 holiday strategies for your network marketing business. So we'll consolidate these 10 things tonight. And as Sharon said, there's a lot of people that might tend to have the mindset this time of year that we're just going to put it on the back burner till January because, well, everybody's busy, everybody's partying, everybody's running around. They're just, too much going on to have them meet with me or to talk to them about something else. And that is not a great mindset to be in. And I have always felt like, wow, from Thanksgiving through the end of the year, through New Year's Eve, is a time when we are probably seeing family and friends more than we see them the rest of the year. and meeting new people at parties and dinners and so on. And so what a fabulous opportunity to really make new friends and plant some seeds. So you've got to stop assuming that no one is interested around this time of the year. That is not a great place to go. So change that mindset. This really, truly can be the most productive months that you've had. And people are what are they doing? They're shopping, right? They're looking at spending money. They're in a buying mood out there. And they're looking for help too, for ideas for gifts. And we may not be selling jewelry or cosmetics, which they could buy, $10 here or $20 there for those kinds of gifts. But we certainly do have some things that can be used as gifts, whether they want to give the gift of health and give a Juice Plus 4-month supply to somebody. I don't know. That is an opportunity, especially for family members. But certainly our new Tower Garden Home or the regular Tower Garden Flex, oh my gosh. That is an amazing gift that somebody can give to probably somebody very close to them, but it keeps on giving forever. And with 12 monthly payments, it helps make that a lot more palatable too. But you can package smaller things too. Somebody can buy a box of Complete and give a bag of Complete and a shaker bottle as a gift to anybody. And that's a very affordable gift to give to somebody. So there are ways to make our products giftable and to do that. And the other thing that people are doing in this time is they're starting to think ahead about those resolutions for January. And they may be tired of what they're doing this year. They may be having major life changes going on in their life, which unfortunately the holidays can bring up some really unfortunate things in people's lives. So January may be a time that they're thinking ahead to what am I going to do after the holidays are over? And so planting those seeds as well as not just getting healthier in January, but making more money. And so the more conversations we can have with people around their health, around their wealth, around life changes, the better we're going to be. And so we need to get those conversations in now. And Eric Worre talks about preloading your calendar. And that means start making those phone calls, those text messages, those private messages with your customers, with friends of friends, with business associates. I'm in a networking group, so I have I'll show you, stack of cards of people that I could be making schedule appointments with for one-on-ones is what we call them in the business world. Scheduling one-on-ones and just getting to know people, having conversations, building relationships, and start getting those in your calendar right now. What are you doing this week? Do those conversation text messages, PMs. Do you have time for coffee? When can we get it on the schedule? The other day, I called one of these guys in that pile who I've been wanting to get together with. He's actually a life coach, but he's really big into ballroom dancing. And I thought, wow, that's so awesome. I've got, I can talk to him about his ballroom dancing and stuff. And he sent me his calendar link. A lot of these guys have calendar links, which is how they book their meetings. And I couldn't book them until the first week of December. So you never know. So this is all about that front loading. Call this week, text this week, because you might not be able to get on their calendar for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3. So that's about building your calendar between now and the end of the year. And there's that sort of time between Christmas and New Year's where there may not be a lot going on, but people want something to do. And so getting together for a cup of coffee, well, how fun is that? I mean, they actually might not be working, so they have time to go grab a cup of coffee in the morning with you. So don't rule out that time either. That's really a terrific time to do that. And it's all about, being bold, being certain of who you are and what you're doing and what you have to offer people. and being confident about that too in your conversations. So I am now going to turn this over to Nicole, who's going to take it to another level. Nicole, you want to unmute?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Sandy. Yeah, so I'm going to pick up on the next point that Eric Worre shared on this information, which was gifting. And he talked about basically his family. He gave an example that one post that he did one year was his family wanted to give away, this is just his example, but they wanted to give away $1,000 to a family in need is what they decided they would do. And so he put out a post on Facebook, and you could do this for $100, or you could do something slightly different, but I think it'll give you the idea. He put a post on Facebook for $1,000, that his family wanted to consider families in need and give away $1,000 on Thanksgiving. They would decide which family to choose. So he encouraged people, if they knew some family in need or some person that could really use some help and that would make a difference in their life, to go ahead and share the story about that family there on his Facebook post. And so he said the response was just tremendous, with people, basically nominating or sharing families that they knew could benefit from this. And he said, he actually, a lot of his friends like this idea. So he said he wound up with some friends saying, oh my gosh, we're going to match this. So you're getting so many, families that could use this money. We'll match what you're doing. And he said when it was all said and done, they wound up with, they were able to pick 12 or 14 families. And with all of that money, they were able to make that kind of an impact and just write checks, $1,000 checks to that many families. And I thought that was a fantastic idea for gifting, and just showing that that's what we're about in this business, that we have a heart for giving and sharing, and we do that outside of our, our normal business activities. And then he talked about other things you can do with your team is to organize a project, maybe to clean up a park. Maybe if money isn't something that you have readily available, and that, especially $1,000 amount, but maybe you could get a team of people together and go clean up a park or an area. I know here in Colorado, we have these companies that adopt portions of the highway to keep the highway clean and pick up trash around there. Maybe you could do some good just cleaning up a park or near a lake, something like that. Or painting. Maybe there's a building, someone has a house or a room that really needs to be painted, a service project that you could organize and do together. He said all of these ideas really create more conversation, and some people will stop and say, well, I'm not really building my business. But he said, if you do them and you do it with a heart for gifting and sharing and helping other people, it is going to do wonders for your business. And that the connections that team members form in doing these things together and doing good together is just beyond what we can imagine it to be. He also said, you can pick a fundraiser. Maybe you have a group that wants to go together and buy some bikes for some kids that wouldn't normally have a bike. And I have an example of this for our team. Sally Renemer is my national marketing director, and her and Sandy Verdon always throw a great holiday party for our team in December. And they have picked a charity, a local charity called Dress for Success. And just a little background on that charity, in case you aren't familiar with it, what they do is they actually provide business clothing for men and women who might not have, who can't afford it, basically. So maybe someone that's been on welfare or is transitioning out of a long period of unemployment, and they don't have a suit to wear to an interview, helping support them in dressing for success so that they can go in and present themselves accordingly for an interview. And maybe a single mom, somebody that needs some help with their clothing so that they can get a job and that type of thing. And so she's the executive director of the local Dress for Success here in the Denver area, is going to be at our team party, holiday party in December. And she said that in addition to the clothes, they actually need a lot of travel size sundries. So shampoo and deodorant, those types of things, but travel sizes. And that's something simple that we can all do as team members. We can just all bring that. And so they have put out a request for all of us to bring sample travel size sundries to bring along so that they can then distribute that to the people that they're helping through this charity. So I thought that was a fun idea, and I love that we're incorporating it into our party this year. He also, Eric also talked about they're in a position where between Thanksgiving and Christmas, his family has decided that when they go out to dinner or anytime they go out to eat, maybe it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever it may be, what they do is they actually take, instead of just tipping 20 or 25%, they tip the entire amount of the bill. And he said it gets a little crazy when they go to a fancy restaurant, but that they kind of swallow and say, you know what, this is what we've decided to do. If we spent, X amount of money, let's say the bill's, at a fancy restaurant, it might be like $600. They tip $600. And I love that. He said he's had people chase him into parking lots and say, oh my gosh, is this a mistake? And he says, no, it's not a mistake. Happy holidays to you. And he said people have all kinds of reactions. He said sometimes people will just break down and cry, and they will say, you have no idea what this is going to mean for our family. But he said, if you can't, obviously they're in a position to be able to do that. But if you can't, even just tipping maybe 30% or 40% and writing happy holidays on the check, whatever you can do. He had a good point, do you think people really want to be working at an Applebee's or a Panera on December 23rd? They're working because they have to. And so I think when we have that extra, when we can do a little bit extra beyond what they're expecting, it can really go a long ways to blessing someone. And then he talked about social media. This kind of goes back to the gratitude component, where he has a challenge to think of. He challenges us to think of 30 people that you are grateful for, and to make a list. It could be a friend, a family member, maybe it's one of your kids' teachers or coaches or someone in your life. Maybe if someone's been sick and you have a provider, a healthcare provider, someone who's helped you out immensely. But just to make a list of people that you're thankful for, and starting on Thanksgiving Day to go on and do a post on social media. And, these ideally would be somebody that you're connected with on like Facebook or Instagram, whatever it may be, but to tag that person in the post and to just say, his example was, man, am I grateful for my 8th grade teacher, Mrs. Biggs. She had made a tremendous difference in my life and really supported me and where I was at that time. And you can keep it simple. I think, Sandy and I were talking about this, just a sentence or so about why you're grateful for that person, and tag them, and maybe a picture if you've got it would be fantastic. But imagine the impact that could have if you were able to do that every day between Thanksgiving and Christmas, or even if you've just got a handful of people, maybe you do it every couple days or once a week. Between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and just for no other reason other than to just let that person know how grateful you are for them and the difference that they have made in their life. And he said, when you do that and you have a whole team of people doing it, it's pretty powerful in terms of the impact that it has out there on social media. And then along the lines with that, this is an even more personal approach in expressing gratitude, is he said, make a list of people that you are grateful for that have impacted your life too. And this would be somebody that maybe you know better. You're going to know some of their family members. And he has actually done this. He sat down and he has written letters to one of their family members. So maybe a mom or a dad or a spouse or a brother or a sister, and just said, Susan has just been a tremendous person, and I want to share with you how big of an impact she has had on my life or on our team, how much of a support she is, how she's always out there encouraging everybody and helping to celebrate when people hit their goals, whatever it is that you're grateful for about that person. And he said, when you take the time to do that and actually mail the letter to one of their family members, that is just so unexpected. And he said those letters have become family keepsakes for many of those families that receive those, because they don't have that same perspective about their family member. It can really open up some insight and let them know what sort of an impact their family member has had on your life, and the loyalty he talked about too. It can really touch somebody when you take the time to express to one of their family members what a difference they have made in your life. And then finally, he talked about holiday cash. And I love this concept because I think it goes right hand in hand with what Sandy was sharing, which was we want to have more conversations from now until the end of the year, right? And holiday cash is fun. I mean, who, somebody says holiday cash. Okay, my ears perk up. I want to know about holiday cash. And specifically, if I can earn it, right? Not just spending it, but I want to earn it. And for us, what that could look like in our business with our HLP is, I know I've been using this just this week and talking to people. I don't know if you could use some extra money with the holidays coming up, but our company has a great HLP bonus where you can earn $100 in the next 30 days, and sharing, how that HLP works. And then of course with the 2,000 plus, if we want to factor that in, that's a $300 bonus. That they could potentially do. Somebody could theoretically, could do an HLP here. We're in the second half now of November, but they could do their HLP by the end of November and their 2,000 plus by the end of December. And that's $400 just in bonus money. And me being the finance guru that I worked in finance previously, I had to look at what the retail profit, the sales profit was on those two. And when you total up the profit, so for an HLP, that would be 3 trios and the sales profit would be $117 and then the $100 bonus. And then to get to 2,000 plus, they would need 9 more trios. That sales profit is $351. And then you add in the $300 bonus if they do that within the 60-day time period. So we're talking about over $868 is the total that someone could earn. So maybe you pick the amount of 100, or maybe you pick the the 400 and start the conversation with the bonus. But you could see how that could really open up a conversation with people, and you could just share with them, I could help you do this if this is something you're interested in doing. Whereas they might otherwise have a tendency, like Eric talked about, to think, oh, I'll do that after the first of the year. Well, something like this might really catch their attention and get them thinking, oh, well, if I can get this done by the end of the year, then maybe I won't have so much credit card debt to pay off after the holidays or that sort of thing. Or it could be handy to have that cash to spend for the holidays. So I thought all of those tips that he shared, I know Sandy said she's going to post the link for the entire video where he goes into this, but those were some of the talking points that we really thought had some great ideas for us to incorporate as we go into the holidays.
Right. Thank you, Nicole. That's awesome. I love those. And something that we, the Reinimer Verdun team, have initiated starting tonight in the tone of the conversation is between now and Sunday night, anybody on our team that has scheduled the most conversations between now and the end of the year, got them on their calendar, is going to win a $25 promotions gift card. And so it's like, and they have to actually show us either their calendar or tell us the dates and times of all of their scheduled coffees, conversations, Zooms, whatever that looks like, lunches. Give us dates and times of those between now and the end of Sunday, and they'll win. So it's an all-out blitz on conversations and preloading for the rest of the year. Okay. Thank you, Sharon.
Oh, thank you, Nicole and Sandy. Great ideas. And I love the idea of focusing on others and giving, because that is really what our community is about, is giving to others. And thanks for sharing that. And my own experience for the last 35 years is really one of the best times to have conversations. We're seeing people, as Sandy said so beautifully at the beginning of the call, that we don't normally see on a regular basis. We can make new connections or extra connections. And so I just want to challenge everybody on your mindset. Mindset has 100% to do with your outcome. And if you think you can, you will. And if you think you can't, you probably won't even try. So I really want to encourage everybody to think can do. I can have more conversations. I can plant seeds. Maybe it's not about having a full-on out harvest right now, but it's a great seed planting time, and think about the harvest that you can have later on. So thank you so much. And it is great ideas and great content. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a super good week. I just want to say a quick little advertisement, so to speak, for the Kentucky Lakes Boot Camp. For those of you who are in and around and attends the Kentucky Lakes Boot Camp. If you haven't put it on your calendar for 2020, I'm going to encourage you to do it right now. February 21 through 23. We've got a stellar lineup, and Ashley Hudson, who was the 12 Club Member of the Year, Kurt Beavers, who was a main stage trainer, and his daughter Hope. A lot of strong trainers are going to be there, and we've got a really fun theme, Oh, the Places That You Will Go by Dr. Seuss. And I love this. We're going to have a great time. So other people are building, planning, getting their reservations in. If you plan to go, do not wait. So everybody have a super, super week. Let's go shine the light, guys, for health and hope like we never have. Make some front-loaded conversations. Good job on that, Sandy. Let's front-load some conversations. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Nicole. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. Great job.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Sandy.
Good night.
Right.